This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Family still in shock after father's 15-year sentence. A family is still in shock after a 15-year sentence was handed down to a father who said he was only defending his 4-year-old son's honor following an allegation that the boy was molested by their then 16-year-old male neighbor. The 52-year-old father was sentenced on July 7 for the offense of wounding with intent. In a recent interview, his 43-year-old sister-in-law said that the little boy was allegedly molested at home after the teenager had taken him home from school one afternoon in January 2018. His mother no send him go to school none at all, and that is the reason why him coulda dey here to pick up my nephew from school. Usually him woulda drop my nephew off at the step, but this time him tell my mother say he would go change him clothes, the woman alleged. She said her nephew gave his family a graphic account of the alleged molestation, after which the little boy's family questioned the teenager to determine the veracity of the claim. The teenager, she said, denied the story, but the 4-year-old boy's father grew angry and stepped toward the teenager to hit him. However, the man's wife stepped between them and told the teen to run, which he did. The matter was reported to the police and the teenager taken into custody. However, that, according to the woman, started a bitter feud between the two families. She said that since the teen was arrested, and despite a condition of his bail being that he should not stay in the community, he was spotted numerous times re-traumatizing her nephew. She said it took more than a week for the police to come and remove the teen after a number of calls were made to the police. You see, the two other siblings for the teen, every time them see the father, them say, "A gunshot you go get," so they provoke the man, and him lick one with a shovel and cut one with a knife, the aunt said. After going to court for approximately 4 years, the father was eventually sentenced to 15 years in prison. She said the family would like to appeal the decision, but finding the money is a challenge. The news has learned that the molestation case is still ongoing. The 4-year-old boy's mother said her son is heartbroken by the sentence. When he heard about the sentence, he thought the father would be coming home on the 15th of July. So I had to get him in that comfort zone and explain to him, the mother said as she tried to hold back tears, adding that she doesn't want her son to be grown before his father is back in his life. What happened was shocking. Me still not really take it good. There hasn't been a moment through the day when me not try to call to God. The father say him all right. Him say him commit the crime, but the punishment is severe. But him defend him son, so he's okay. It gives him comfort to know that he protected his son, the mother said. She believes, though, that her husband did not get a fair trial because the policemen who made the arrest allegedly had connections with the family of the teenage boy. She said before the sentence was read, she went to the Independent Commission of Investigations and other relevant authorities for assistance, but was not successful. His arresting officer, during the whole incident, he was always the first police on the scene if we had any confrontation, she said, explaining that the cop is stationed at a police station miles away from her community, over which another police station has jurisdiction. She said that the judge was very surprised to see this high-ranking police officer in charge of a wounding with intent case. When the judge saw him, she said, "What are you doing here?" The wife told the news, adding that the judge asked the cop why he didn't allow the police who have responsibility for the community where the problem exists to do their work. The wife said that the policeman responded that the cops from that station are incompetent and unable to carry out their duties. Meanwhile, the wife said she is hoping that she can find the money to start the appeal process. 2 Hanover women charged with trafficking underage girls. 2 women of Hanover addresses who have been arrested and charged in connection with the trafficking of 3 girls, all under the age of 16. The charges were laid last week by members of the Jamaica Constabulary Forces Anti-Trafficking Vice Squad. Those charged are 33-year-old Nicole Brissett of Lucy, Hanover, and 39-year-old Nicola Johnson of Hanover and St. Thomas addresses. The JCF has been signaling in recent times that it will be getting tougher on human trafficking. Earlier this month, the Minister of National Security, Dr. Harris Chang, called for renewed focus by CARICOM member states on combating the scourges of human trafficking and the illicit firearms trade. As it relates to human trafficking, Chang said the perpetrators of this crime continue to exploit the region's most vulnerable, who are forced into labor, sexual servitude, and debt bondage. He pointed out that the latest United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime Global Report on Trafficking in Persons shows that around 1/3 of all detected victims are children, a figure that has tripled over the past 15 years. Indeed, we can all agree that renewed and invigorated action against this crime is needed more than ever, as economic hardship, conflict, and health and climate emergencies globally are increasing and compounding vulnerabilities to trafficking, exploitation, and abuse, Dr. Chang said. Chang, who is also Jamaica's Deputy Prime Minister, was addressing the 24th meeting of the Council for National Security and Law Enforcement in Trelawney on October 6. St. Mary Police concerned about crime in 3 sections of the parish. Acting Superintendent for the St. Mary Police, Deputy Superintendent Kevin Francis, has highlighted the sections of the parish that are of concern to the police in relation to crime. DSP Francis, in his address at the recent meeting of the St. Mary Municipal Corporation, says that 3 of the 11 police areas have caught the attention of the authorities. Of our 11 stations, we have some areas of concern, which include Anota Bay, Orakabessa, and of recent times, Gale. DSP Francis is also encouraging residents to share information with the police in the fight against the crime.
We currently have 11 stations, and of our 11 stations, we have some areas of concerns, which includes Anota Bay, Orakabessa, and of recent time, Gale. The Gale police area saw our last murder, which was on Tuesday last week, the 4th of October. And I must say that since then, we have not had any murders in the parish, and we're hoping for it to continue this way for a while. Crime, criminality have no discrimination. It doesn't matter if you're a police or a politician or a student. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. When we all go in the grave or we're cremated, it's all the same end result. I am appealing to you through this medium for you to provide information to the police. If you do not trust your police sources, trust your politicians. If you don't trust the politicians, trust the justices of the peace. If you don't trust the JP, trust yourself, that you will be able to share information that can save somebody's life. That life may very well be yours.
Police probing murder of national security employee in St. Catherine. Homicide detectives are searching for 2 suspects in connection with the fatal shooting of an employee of the Ministry of National Security in Portmore, St. Catherine on Friday. Garfield Jones, an auditor in the ministry, was shot dead at a construction site in 5 East Greater Portmore on Friday afternoon. The news was informed that Mr. Jones was transporting workers away from the site when gunmen opened fire at his motor vehicle. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The news was informed that Mr. Jones had gone to the construction site after the workers became fearful when armed thugs showed up. He was moving the workers when he was shot. The Greater Portmore police are investigating the incident. Man dies after falling from bike in St. Mary. The parish of St. Mary recorded its latest road fatality on Sunday morning. The deceased is Ralston Richards, 31, of Grandstown, Port Maria. According to reports, about 5:30 on Sunday morning, Mr. Richards was riding his motorbike from Otorius to St. Mary. On reaching a section of the Port Maria main road, Mr. Richards reportedly lost control of the bike. He fell, hitting his head, and was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Investigators say he was wearing a helmet at the time of the crash. Garbage collection won't improve until November, says Montague. Member of Parliament for St. Mary Western, Robert Montague, says the garbage collection woes that residents face will not end before November. Speaking at a community meeting in Spicy Grove on Friday, Mr. Montague indicated that, while he understands the unfortunate situation with the irregular collection of garbage in the parish, the government's plan to correct it would take time.
The garbage situation is bad. But I am not going to come here and tell you no lie and sweet you up. It won't be corrected until in November. So that is just the reality. And we have to just tell you the reality. And the collection of garbage will improve, but it won't be where we want it until we buy the other 50 and get 100 truck. But in the meantime, the law say, you are responsible for your garbage until then collect it.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.